This is the speaking test for the International English Language Testing System. The candidate is Karisma Septemo. Candidate number is 012999. And the examiner is Muhammad Marufiroz, number 454687. Good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Marufiroz. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Yes, good afternoon. My full name is Karisma Septemo Mola.
And what shall I call you?
You may call me by my first name, Karisma.
Where are you from?
Well, I was actually born here in Bangladesh, but majority of my life I grew up in the Philippines, so I would consider myself as Filipino. More specifically, I grew up in my mother's province, which is called Bicol, and this is situated on the northern part of the Luzon Island.
In the first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Now, do you work or are you a student?
Well, I've recently graduated from the University of Santa Tomas with a degree in chemistry, but I'm in the process of applying to graduate school to pursue my master's, so I'd still consider myself as a student.
What subject would you like to study?
So as I mentioned before, I took a bachelor's in chemistry, and so for my further studies, I would also take a master's in chemistry in order to further broaden my work experience.
So, why do you choose chemistry in master's?
So when I was in high school, I was contemplating what I wanted to study in the field of science, and I know Bangladesh, they mainly focus on either being a doctor or an engineer, and I knew I couldn't fit in any one of those pictures. So instead, I tried to focus on what I enjoyed, which was cosmetics and chemistry. So I kind of combined both of that love and chose to pursue a degree in chemistry so I could be a cosmetic chemist.
Do you think you will remain friends with the people from your course in the future?
Yes, definitely. Especially back when I was in university, I'm close with all my friends. We've been together ever since from first year all the way to fourth year. And even though I've moved from the Philippines, still on a weekly basis, I do talk to them and catch up through video call and just have little updates on what's going on with their life.
Now, talk about your favorite place. What is the place that you most like to visit?
So when I was a student in university, my favorite place would have to be the library, and the name was the Benavides Library, which is named after one of our founding pope that had established that university. And I usually go there very often just because I want to catch up on my studies or take a quick nap in between my classes.
Is it easy to travel there?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, it is situated within our university, and since I live 5 minutes away in a dorm, I'm able to walk there every single day.
Is it a popular place for others to visit?
Yes, definitely. Our library is very big, and we have around 8 different floors, and each floor is catered to every different department. So any student from any courses within our university is able to come visit there and have access to many resources.
Now, let's talk about your daily routine. Tell me about a typical weekday for you.
So my weekdays are usually very hectic. I usually wake up 5:30 a.m. to prepare for my 7 a.m. classes. In the morning, I usually take a quick shower, wear my uniform, and review my study notes in order to prepare for my classes. And then my classes usually end around 7 p.m. So I usually study for 12 hours a day. And then after I return back to my home, I take a quick nap, eat my dinner, afterwards study more, and then go to bed by 12 a.m.
Do you work or study better in the morning or in the afternoon?
I would say neither. I don't really have time to study in the morning or afternoon because usually I have either classes or I'm busy doing other projects, but I would consider myself as a night owl, so I tend to study more better at night since it's a lot more peaceful and quiet and I'm able to fully be devoted with my studies.
What would you like to change about your daily routine?
Since I don't really have a lot of time in the morning, I guess if I could implement one change, it would be to include a proper breakfast because, as I've mentioned, my classes are very, very long, usually 12 hours a day. And of course, every individual needs a proper breakfast in order to fuel their body in order to last the entire day.
Is there any balance between your work time and your leisure time in your daily routine?
Unfortunately, not, even though I would love to love there to be a balance. I don't really have a lot of time because usually on my weekdays I tend to study or be busy with classes. And on the weekend I tend to catch up on my rest because I don't really get proper sleep during the weekdays.
Okay, so that is the end of part 1. Now we are in the second part of the speaking test. You have to talk about a meal you have had that you really enjoyed. So here you go. This is the topic. And this is your pencil. You will have 1 minute to think about. You can take notes, and after that you have to start speaking. So are you ready?
Yes.
Please start.
Okay, so back when I was a student in my university, our university would always arrange different events, especially towards the undergraduate students. And one of the events that they had arranged was called Agape. Now, Agape is very well known in the Catholic religion. And because I attended a Catholic school, this was an important event. Now, Agape basically translates to a religious meal that symbolizes love and fellowship. And this was particularly important, especially towards the students, that was arranged during the first week of December before our finals week. And as you know, as typical students, we tend to be a lot of stress, and we are tend to seclude ourselves in our dorms, so we don't really have time to hang out with our friends. However, through this event, our school makes sure that we are able to spend quality time with our friends, as well as share a meal with them. So through Agape, every department in our university kind of contacts different restaurants or fast food chains, and they're able to bring in a ton of food to the school, and every students are able to get a range of food, and these are all free. So one of the meals that I had taken was 3 meals actually. These were from different fast food chains which were popular in the Philippines, and this included Jollibee, Kenny Rogers, or Domino's. And what's great is that if any students have any sort of dietary restrictions, then our university also accompanies them. For example, me, I don't eat pork, so I'm able to resort to other meals that utilizes chicken or fish. My other friends, they don't eat any sort of vegetables or anything, so they could either get other option that our university provided.
Thank you very much. Can I have the pencil and the question paper? Thank you very much. Okay. Let's consider children and food. What's the best age for a child to learn to cook?
I think it depends on every child. For example, if a young child is very passionate with cooking or shows an interest to it, then I think it's okay for them to learn at a younger age, as long as they're being guided by their parents. However, in terms of the general public, I would say the best time to learn to cook would be the pre-adolescent stage, which is usually around the age of 14 to 15, and this is during the high school stage. So students are able to learn basic cooking skills, like cooking rice or any sort of easy dishes. So by the time they turn 18 or when they go off to university or college, they're able to prepare a simple meal for themselves.
Whose responsibility is it, in your view, to teach children to eat healthily?
Oh, I would definitely say it's our parents. Our parents are usually the ones who prepare all our meals ever since where we're born, and they're usually in charge of buying the proper groceries, vegetables, as well as making sure that we have limitation and restrictions in order to not overindulge ourselves through sugary meals or other unhealthy food items.
Do you think children will eat more healthily in the future?
I think it depends again on every child and how they were brought up. If parents are making sure that they are being influenced in the proper direction by incorporating a lot of healthy meals, then of course the child will reiterate that into their future lives. But if children are exposed to unhealthy diets at a younger age, then they tend to copy that trend again in their later lives as well.
Okay, let's talk about eating habits. Does food play an important role in your culture?
Definitely. I think a best way to showcase one culture is through food. Everyone loves to eat, of course. So, for example, in the Philippines, we have so many different provinces. I think it was approximately like 7,000 provinces, and each province has their own specialty dishes. So, through these different specialty dishes, you're able to really understand the different types of vegetation as well as the ingredients that are popular within each province and be able to enjoy those meals as an individual.
Would you say people in your country have a healthy diet these days, or did people eat more healthily in the past?
I can say that both the past and the present days there is a tendency to be both unhealthy and healthy. For example, in the past, we don't really have like transportation available, so people are only restricted to what's available on their land, and this can only like be resorted to like simple ingredients like whatever vegetables are available in their area. But nowadays, since everything is like globalized, we tend to have a lot more access to different culture and different cuisines from all around the world, like Indian food or different Asian food. So at the end of the day, I think it's the individual themselves that decides whether they want to be healthy or unhealthy.
Do you think it's important for our family to sit together to eat a meal in the evening?
Yes, definitely. If you have the opportunity to do so. I know a lot of the times we tend to be preoccupied with our daily lives. And if we can, at the end of the day, especially in the evening, if we just put our phone away and just sit down face to face and communicate, it's a great way to just keep everyone up to date with whatever is going on in our daily lives.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.